Leadership without values is just management, getting things done. But the more you have a vision, a true vision of the human being, of the person, the more you're demanding in terms of what's real leadership. And then you come to the conclusion that top leadership is, for me, my leadership, which is about achieving greatness by bringing out the greatness in others. And this has to do with virtues.
Hey everyone, we recently hosted an interview with Alex Savard, speaker, author, and creator of the Virtuous Leadership System. We've benefited massively from his work and are strong advocates for him. If you're interested in learning about virtuous leadership, go to alexsavard.com to see his online courses, tests, and books. We hope you enjoy this episode.
So what are we talking about today? We're talking about the idea of retirement, how we conceptualize it. And so we think that the world has the wrong view of retirement.
Big surprise, we're a contrarian.
That's our space.
So this idea of work is bad, therefore you must strive to escape the slavery that is work as soon as possible and go to what is your real calling, which is this life of permanent relaxation. That is how retirement is presented to us, as this is the goal, this is what you should strive for, this is what you should desire. And we think that is completely wrong. So instead of thinking of retirement as this point where you get to be work optional, we think it's better to frame it as you get to the point in your life where the income is optional. The work remains, but whether you need to continue to earn money, that's the part that you control.
Welcome to the Ordered Life Podcast. In any high level anything, you want to be at peak performance before you actually enter into whatever
Like
arena
an academic athlete.
Well, that's what I'm kind of referring to. It's like no coach is going to be like, hey, lift these light weights before going and playing in the Super Bowl. Like, that's not how it works. Actually, I heard.
Ooh, that's good banter right there.
Yeah, when people train for the Super Bowl, they, like their trainers, their strength coaches and trainers will have basically a year-long workout regimen in terms of how they'll sometimes like develop, okay, this is what we're building in the beginning of the season. This is what we're working mid-season. Playoffs, we're doing like the recovery, whatever. And then not like last week for Super Bowl, it's like, okay, we're like in top peak physical shape in terms of whatever it is that you're trying to go for from a positions standpoint. And I thought that was very cool to say this is how we're going to base our training. That's what I heard from my football coach.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So there's hundreds or potentially thousands of really disappointed trainers who never get to the end of that workout schedule.
Yeah, I have no idea. Or if this is just one trainer. I think it was the Patriots who they're talking about.
Okay, so they're thinking, yeah, there's a good chance we're going every year.
Yeah, just this idea.
Actually, I don't know how they do anymore. I might be dating myself when they were good and are no longer good.
They're in the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they won 4 games last year. Now they're in the Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
And Seahawks too, right?
Yeah. Pats,
That's pretty
Seahawks,
cool
yeah.
for Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit scared, but we'll see. It's nice because like my two favorite teams are the Patriots and the Seahawks. Seahawks because we're Vancouver, so it's close. But Patriots because my aunt lives in Boston, so when we were kids, we'd always get sent out Patriots and Red Sox hats and Celtics stuff, but never Bruins. Bruins were that was a hard line. And then my cousin.
Yeah, given the rivalry that we've had
Oh, yeah.
as Vancouver.
Yeah, and then my cousin ended up sending me a Bruins cap in the middle of COVID, and
Just to irk you.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, my hair was pretty atrocious, so I put the Bruins cap.
That's why I need to visit a stylist then, or you found one.
Well, in the middle of COVID, it was tough. 'Cause it was like lockdown. Yeah.
Yeah, just let it grow. I remember a lot of people just grew it out. See how long they got.
Yeah, it was either grow out or some people just cut their hair, like went straight for the buzz.
Ooh, I sent you guys the trailer for To Die For, which is on Le Mans.
Oh, okay, yes, yeah, okay, I 100% now realize how that name works.
Okay, just given.
I just saw 2 and then Die For, and then now that you say it, that's actually really witty.
Clever. It's clever.
Yeah, that is
24.
Good. Yeah. No, I'm super game to watch that.
I was looking for places out here that would be showing it. I figured it'd be like, okay, standard. This is kind of a big production. It seemed.
Yeah.
That it'd be in like the Vancouver. What is it? Where's it downtown where they have an IMAX?
Scotiabank.
Yeah, there or like any theater that has an IMAX theater like Langley.
Yeah.
Does, but no, I couldn't
No
find it.
showing it.
Really? When does it release?
You might have to drive 24 hours to get to a theater.
Yeah, probably more than that, because the closest showing I could see that's scheduled is in Los Angeles. Hopefully that changes.
Yeah, I was gonna say surely it would, because I know movie theaters for whatever reason they release schedules pretty late relative to.
But it looked pretty epic.
It does. It looks really cool.
It looks really good.
Yeah, I'm just happy that I already know who wins. Ferrari. Woo. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. In other banter, because we've only used up 5 minutes and we like to do a lot more. In my fiance and I's planning for a wedding, I'm responsible for all the music. And I quite like music, and I really enjoy, especially when you have good EQ and when there's a good DJ who knows how to mix songs in a really cool way. Like, I appreciate that.
And it makes perfect sense you're a sound engineer for
Yes,
our podcast.
yeah. So it's, I do enjoy being able to listen to stuff like that. And recently, Apple, with their new update, has this mixing feature where it will kind of automatically DJ. Spotify did this years ago, but Apple just did it, and I'm on Apple Music.
Now it's new then.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically this brand new technology. No, not even close. But it's okay. It's mediocre. It's I don't love it. But DJ, which is a software, has a similar thing where you just have auto mix, and it's a little bit more fun. And so I was playing around with that, and just on my phone, so I was able to get the app. And then I'm like, well, there's a desktop version. This is all on Sunday. And then from the desktop version, I'm like, well, I have a mixing table, because in high school, one of my friends
You have
gave
a
me
mixing table?
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
It's a ton of fun. So I ended up spending 4 hours playing around with like the DJ stuff, and it's so much fun. But it's tough because I know that I don't have the time to actually put effort and everything into it. And so I can just like hear songs and kind of think, oh, this song would go really well with that. But I know that if I like, as soon as I pull out the mixing table, I'm going to be on there for like 2 hours. And yeah, that's not going to be a productive.
You just need a
use
guy
of
with
time.
the smoke machine.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
lasers.
Just at home by yourself. Like, it just has to. They have to go together. You can't have one without the other.
Did you guys see? There was a video a while back. Have you seen what like a prey ski is?
A prey ski.
Like APRES.
Okay.
APRES.
Like it's like the after ski. Like you ski
Oh,
and then you go.
so it's French.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like this after ski where basically.
I thought you with your hands you were making a type of
no.
ski that was
No.
a different shape.
No. You ski in the mountain and then it's like
après ski.
you
Go and
yeah.
have whatever.
have a
drinks
drink
whatever.
and have
Hot cocoa or something. Okay.
Yeah, there's a very viral.
I'm clueless
video.
because I've never gone skiing.
Oh man, there's a
You're
viral.
you're 100% pre-ski.
There was a viral video a number of years ago where, because there's a DJ doing his stuff in the background of this video, and one guy goes to a table and like makes circles in the snow and starts to fake DJ. And
I've seen that.
Yeah, and one of his friends, because of how cold it is, he's just able to blow like smoke
Yes,
up or
yes.
fog up from the side, and it was very fun.
Shall we retire into our topic?
Yes, I'm
Nice.
Sean leading the
Good
conversation
segue.
into
All right. Okay. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about the idea of retirement, how we conceptualize it. And so we think that the world has the wrong view of retirement.
Big surprise, we're a contrarian.
That's our space.
Yeah.
And so what is the view of retirement? Well, any Freedom 55 commercial or any retirement planning commercial will tell you that your dream is to retire as early as you can, preferably with a boat, on a beach, in a perpetual sunset, in a life of permanent vacation. Is that fair to say?
That's
Yeah,
about
no,
right.
very
I
good.
think of like the Scrooge McDuck experience of having this vault of gold coins that you could swim into. That would be like the most idealistic version of that.
Yeah, so this idea of work is bad, therefore you must strive to escape the slavery that is work as soon as possible and go to what is your real calling, which is this life of permanent relaxation. Right? And obviously, not obviously, but implicitly also, you've abandoned your family because they're still stuck in the...
Too bad, so sad.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that is how retirement is presented to us, as this is the goal, this is what you should strive for, this is what you should desire. And we think that is completely wrong. So for everything we've been talking about with, laborem exercens, the first premise that, work is bad and is to be avoided and you are to try to escape it is, we think, false. So work, what? How do I summarize this in 2 sentences? Like what we did 3 or 4 podcasts worth of. Work is something good. Work is something inherent to our humanity. Work is something that helps us fulfill our duties to ourselves and societies and become what? Better person, better child of God, all those sorts of things.
Yeah, there's a dignity to work.
The dignity of work, right? Okay. So we think that first premise that work is bad and is to be escaped is false.
I think the importance of work, especially because we have unique strengths and talents. And if our goal was to get to retirement where you work no longer, I think that deprives yourself of things you take joy in doing.
Yeah.
That you have an ability to share these unique gifts that you have that makes you unique and gives you life. So to essentially go to a point where like, all right, I'm done my effort. I'm just going to ride off in the sunset and do absolutely nothing. I think really doesn't give you the opportunity to be generous with your life and your talents and your ability to give your time to others.
Mm-hmm. You could even have the very selfish opinion that, what does work do for me? And it does a lot for a person. That's beyond just like, the dignity of
Yes.
you were made for this.
Right.
Like it keeps you engaged. It keeps you your mental faculties engaged.
Keeps you astute.
Keeps you astute. Keeps you sharp. It also, depending on the work, probably keeps you engaged with other people.
Right.
There's
The
inherent-
importance of building relationships.
There's inherent community with it.
Yes.
And in our practice, working with clients, seeing them through to retirement, there are a large cohort of people who have this dream of retirement, and they've completely exited work, and then 3 or 4 years in, they're bored. They're looking for something to do, anything to do, and it's extremely common. So even if you don't necessarily love the work or working at all, like there are many positive byproducts of work. Okay. But we also have the view that actually work is inherently good in itself. So what should be a better way to frame or view retirement? So instead of thinking of retirement as this point where you get to be work optional, we think it's better to frame it as you get to the point in your life where the income is optional. The work remains, but whether you need to continue to earn money, that's the part that you could drop. And, through your own savings, through your own retirement planning. Like there will come a time where you can't work just physically. You're old, too old. So, yeah, out of prudence, a person should plan for a time when they are unable to work. And it's actually not even a bad option to say, I'm just going to go live with my family and they're going to support me. Actually, I think that's just that we expect our children to take care of their elderly parents. But, it's not everyone's first, most desirable option. So, preparing for that time, being financially secure for a time you can't work, like obviously that's just sort of prudent, good planning that makes sense. But you can also plan for a period where you continue to work, but you do not need to draw a full-time salary from, let's say, a work that you don't find fulfilling or you don't particularly enjoy, or where you're working for someone else in a field that's not where you want to continue at that time of your life. So there are options that are not abandoning the idea of work, right? There is working less, where you still work, but you still have free time to balance it out, or more time available to you. There is working for yourself. Maybe you always had some dream, some venture that you thought you could do, some idea, but in the midst of your high earning years in your career, you couldn't really take the time, but now you do, right? And if you have saved so that the income is optional, now you can focus your efforts in other ventures and avenues of work. There is work that comes with no income naturally. There is work where you contribute to your church, or you contribute to your community, or you help raise the grandkids, or there are other ways we can think of work that's not necessarily clocking in at a job that's 9 to 5.
Right. I like to, is in your speaking points of that, when you retire, it's not kind of the end. it's a transition to something else, or potential to transition to something else. I think the most idealistic circumstances, you love what you do and you get to continue work, and so the income continues. Perhaps allows more flexibility as to if you didn't need that income, it could be reallocated to other things, giving more to charitable causes. It could be giving more to your adult children that are trying to raise their own children. It could go in a variety of different ways.
That's an avenue I didn't even talk about, where you actually just continue to work full time, you continue to earn your normal salary, and then you just give it all away because you don't even need it.
Yeah, and that's a point that you've made when it comes to retirement planning, in terms of the added benefit of working for an extra year when you otherwise would have just stopped working and stopped taking income. A, you're not drawing down on whatever your retirement savings has been. 2, you're able to get interest on that saving. And 3, sorry, I totally forget the order that I did this in.
There's a third somewhere.
Yeah. You have like those 3 of like you're not taking from the pool, you're adding to the pool from your own work, and you're adding to the pool through
Another year for growth.
Exactly. Yeah. And so just that added benefit.
And on the other side, one less year of drawing from it.
Yes.
Which is the same thing as you said.
Yeah.
But
So you have like that 3. Yeah, you have 3 very good financial reasons to work that extra year, or 2 or 3, because if you've hit your retirement needs, it's literally all gravy. So you can do whatever you want with that money, which I think is interesting, because the whole idea of retirement is to be able to kind of do whatever you want with your money. But for many people, once you get to that like work optional idea, obviously we're advocating for an income optional, that ideal of a work optional lifestyle is very much like, oh yeah, you don't have to toil. You don't have to do this. In other words, you could work, but you don't have to. You can just kind of live off of whatever you want because you have sufficient means to do that. Whereas now we're saying, well, no, like you have sufficient means, and now any sort of work you do, that money is just on top of whatever you had originally built into your plan, which I think is a cool place to be in.
Yeah, so it's either an extra boon for the financial plan itself, makes it more resilient and better off, or just it massively expands your ability to be generous.
Yeah.
In terms of now you can give so much more, or you can give so much more of your time to other things. Like either side of it is great.
I also think too is there's a good attribute to continue working after that. Say you hit that particular milestone as to where you're more seriously considering retirement and exiting the workforce, to continue working, as you had mentioned, the financial benefits of not having to draw down on your savings and seeing a dwindling balance, because now you're withdrawing and you're hoping for the growth to offset that withdrawal component. But if you could still do the things that you were hoping to do, like that bucket list that you wanted to do at that ideal transition stage, you could still do those, but still work in some sort of capacity to help is a good idea as well. Because
you just take the German work schedule where you're off for 4.5 months of the year.
Yeah, you could. You could it just allows more flexibility to do both and.
I saw a, what do we call it now? It's not Twitter, X thread from some guy who just retired. He's in his late 60s and said, I don't understand. I have finally mastered this job and I have all this experience and knowledge, and I hit a certain age and they kick me out the door and say, we don't want to see you again.
Yeah.
Which seems totally backwards. Like you now actually have the most you could possibly offer to the people who are learning and this company do whatever it's trying to do. And that's when they don't want to see you. Yeah. And then the responses were like, okay, boomer, just go away, boomer. Not good.
Yeah.
Totally, extremely uncharitable. But I thought he had a good point is, why do we take, it used to be like the, in a tribal society, the elders were the ones everyone went to for the answers. And now it's like, just go to the retirement home and we don't want to see you anymore. It seems kind of silly.
I don't have much else to.
I'm out. That's it. That's all I had on it.
Yeah. In summary, advocacy for an income optional versus a work optional lifestyle. Great benefits of continuing to work. I guess part of it just kind of comes down to how you view work. Is this something that I have to do for a period, or do I actually see the value of what I'm producing?
Yeah, and don't be led to believe that the only successful or desirable retirement is this one of permanent vacation,
Yeah.
and recognize that you still have talents and you still have an inherent in your humanity has this inherent need to continue working.
Yeah.
And as long as you can, you should.
Yeah.
And the benefits of keeping your mental faculties, keep yourself exercised and using your talents, your gifts.
Sweet.
All right. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Thank you for listening. I'm Anthony.
I'm Sean.
I'm AJ.
Have a good day.
This podcast has been prepared by Sean Gregory, who is a portfolio manager, AJ Sanson, and Anthony De Lazari, who are associate investment advisors for IA Private Wealth Inc. Opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the portfolio manager and investment advisors only, and do not necessarily reflect those of IA Private Wealth Inc. IA Private Wealth Inc. is a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund and the Canadian Investment Regulatory Organization. IA Private Wealth is a trademark and business name under which IA Private Wealth Inc. operates.